Hi everyone, it's Justin here, Voices for Voices. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode. We're over 545 episodes, all thanks to you. If you can give us a big thumbs up, like, follow, subscribe, share, reshare, repost. Even if you got your phone out, or if you don't, pull your phone out and reach out to maybe 25 or 50 of your contacts and share the Voices for Voices podcast and TV show with them. It's all because of you that we're here, and we are continuing this ministry, and we are within the ministry helping with public service announcements as needed and sharing those public service announcements as well as guests and solo episodes, all with the foundation of mental health, trauma recovery. We are voices for voices, so that says it right there. So we're gonna jump into a little bit of a learning and education for me, and maybe for you. Maybe you already have a good grasp on what we're going to be covering. Uh, just as we get started, uh, we know that there are nice people in the world, and uh, some people who uh, may not be as nice and caring as may seem. So I'm not here to lift up certain people and put down others. I look at all of us as human beings, and we are not sinless. We all sin, and uh, and that's part of what we're going to be talking about today. Uh, what I wanted to get started on is so every day is a learning experience for me. Every day. So learning, I'm educating myself on uh, what's going on in one area or another. Obviously, the news is one way to get that information. Others is, by just the work that we're doing. And when we do that work, sometimes we come across a new method, a new way of doing things, a new way of looking at things, like a new perspective. And so that's what we're going to be talking about today. Uh, First, uh, as we move along, is all the information that's being shared that will be shared is is a fact, is um, something that can be corroborated, which means, an independent person could look at something and come to a same conclusion. Again, we're not here to put anybody down, but we are here to talk about facts. We're here to talk about public safety, public service announcements, and that comes with our online safety to begin with. Uh, yeah, whether it's social media or just streaming, screen time is, I guess, the best way to think about. So with the ever increasing number of minutes of screen time that seems to keep rising, um, we find ourselves on sometimes platforms where we can view content and platforms where we can maybe listen to content. And oh, by the way, the Voices for Voices podcast and TV show is everywhere. So wherever you get your podcasts, wherever your contacts get and connections get their podcasts, they can find all over 540 episodes. If this is your first episode, you got a lot of work to do, so just go back in time, as we call it, and download, the episode starting with episode one, and then you can pick and choose which episodes you want to watch and listen at the given time. If you have been with us from the beginning, welcome back. And welcome to those who are new to Voices for Voices. Uh, okay, so I'm gonna do a screen share as we're talking, and what I'm gonna be showing on a screen is a audio-visual platform that you're probably very familiar with, whether you use it or not. You probably still have heard the name. I'm not going to share the name, but you'll probably see the name on the screen. But what we're going to start by is, let's say you decided uh, that you want to be an influencer, and so you start putting content together, and you want people to see it, so they buy what you're selling. And so then you would put that content, that video or audio, you'd put that on the respective platforms. Well, when you go into, uploading that content, there's a ton of questions that you go through after you are uploading. So let's say your upload's like, I don't know, 10 minutes, 8 minutes, whatever, doesn't matter. So as your device, computer is uploading your content, a lot of times it's not very quick. Not that it's not very quick. I mean, it takes maybe a minute or so, or maybe a little bit more for the process of uploading. And and so when you're doing that, there's a whole host of questions you have to respond to before you get to the end where you make your content public, private, unlisted, questions like that. So that's, or if you want to um, schedule your content to come out at a certain time. Like if you're dropping uh, an album, if you're dropping, new merch, those would be reasons to do that, to schedule that out. And then you use kind of the social media to back into letting everybody know what's happening. So, what I'm going to show first is one of the sections of uh, where you have to answer questions before you can post your content. Uh, and just a disclaimer, what I'm about to share again is a fact and it's real. We're gonna keep going down that road, and 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 this just gets us the tip of the iceberg for this episode. And this is a real episode that you're gonna see. We've already dropped it, so I've already gone through the questions. But what I didn't know or wasn't as familiar with, for one reason or another, I didn't know the impact of certain questions. One is, you know, can a viewer or listener remix your content? Can they embed your content into, their website? So that's all done by, coding and all that. And so with that comes good and bad. The good is you're potentially, you and I are potentially reaching more people. That's a good thing, right? That's one of the things, we look at is, how many people do we reach? How many downloads? How many views? We're looking at numbers and analytics all day, every day. And and so one of those questions that we're going to see is, uh, and are you like, do you want people to be able to embed your content into their, the downloader, the viewer, the listener, into their websites or some other websites or social media posts or not? And then the remixing part comes where you can modify, I mean, even the embedding and then remixing, modifying content. So basically taking what looks to be a brand new car and then you buy it and it the engine blows within the first day. And it's like, oh my gosh, it looked good. Everything was all shiny and and I took a test drive and it was all good. And then again, then so you make the purchase or you lease it, whatever you do. And then once you leave the dealer lot, then everything's on you for repairs. There's certain repairs for recalls and um, oil changes and different warranties. But so like it looks and feels like it's the authentic thing, but then it turns out not to be. And it could be a little thing like the visor doesn't go down as far as it should, or it could be any number of things. It could be something small, or it could be, like I said, the engine blows, and then that's thousands of dollars. Hopefully, the warranty would cover that. So that's what we're talking about here today. So I wanted to just share that before I start sharing my screen because a lot of people, and I'm one of those, that I need to be kind of spoon-fed and told ahead of time what I'm getting ready to look at and view or listen. Um, because once it's on the screen, then the eyes and the attention goes to the screen. It might not be so much with the voice. So we're going to be switching back and forth. So we're going to share my screen here. We are going here. Da, da, da. Okay. And so I think we're good. Now we just press this button. All right. So we are right. Whoa. Okay. So we're right where I was mentioning. Okay. So you're gonna see here um the term. So this is on video details. You can see what platform we're on. I'm not going to mention that. Self-explanatory. And as your content is loading, or if your content's already loaded, you still have to go through all these questions and pick and choose before you can make your content public or schedule or make whatever you would like to do. So you got it licensed. So you're scrolling down and towards the bottom of the page, right? So you see the scroll bar there. So we're pretty close to the bottom of the page. And so we get license and we got, okay, standard YouTube license. And then we go here, and you heard me talk about embedding, not in bed, like INBED, like I'm in bed. It's not that, it's embedding. And so what does this mean? So I hover over the question mark. It says allow others to embed your video in their sites. So their websites or your websites. And you have a choice to check it where it says yeah, and that means yes. I do want others to have the ability to embed my video, this specific video, uh, into their sites if they want to. So this is the layout that we've had before, where say, yeah, yeah, we want people to have the opportunity to share it. The second part is the remixing. So one thing is putting it on your site. This one here, the shorts remixing, uh, meaning it says right here, I'm just reading verbatim. Under shorts remixing, it says, quote, let others create shorts using content from this video. If you don't allow remixing, shorts remixed from this video will be permanently deleted. And so what I have been doing is clicking here, saying, yep, I want people to be able to do this. And yep, I want people to be able to, make clips. And again, we're looking at the almighty numbers, the downloads, the views, all that. And so this is a way to kind of max it out or get close to maxing it out. Uh, so that's what I have been doing. That's what I've been doing. Uh, I'm gonna switch this to where we're not going to allow people to embed, and we are not going to allow remixing. And you might say, well, Justin, you just got done saying you want to have your content, your videos, your content, you want to have that in front of as many people because, the numbers and analytics and all that. Um, well, something that I learned a couple of years ago was what a deep fake is. And we've had on our show a couple of times, two, three times, I think, Miss Allison Berry and her mom, Miss Anna. And to make take that situation. So Ellison goes into school one day. Somebody took her photos that were innocent photos on Instagram, turned them into nude photos, and that was the situation. And and so that's what you call a deep fake. You're taking something that is there that is original, like the original date that this video was dropped. Um, and taking it. And as I mentioned, when you remix and when you embed and you do these things, you're giving others, the general public, some people are good, some people are not so good. You're, we're giving people that are not so nice, not so good, not so good intentions, the ability, if they want to take our content and make changes to it. And you might say, "Oh, yeah, you're lying." Okay. So let me put exhibit number one up. Oh, okay. So we have what looks to be a cover of one of our episodes that we did. And it says, Is Maker's leadership linked to human trafficking? Episode 193. And then you see you can't miss it if you're able to see. If you're not able to see, hopefully you have a guardian, somebody can help you with. It says lies. Lies exclamation mark. And then we say, well, what, where's that coming from? And it just so happens we're able to see it says lawsuit, realm makers. So realm makers posted this. So they took something that was original, covered by First Amendment. You don't like it, don't watch it, don't listen to it. And they went and modified this here all over this cover. So I wanted to let you know what a deepfake is, a definition. So I gave my definition. So we go here. Deepfake definition. DuckDuckGo. A deepfake is a synthetic media such as an image, a video, or audio that has been convincingly generated or altered using AI, artificial intelligence, to misrepresent someone as doing or saying something they did not actually say or do. And so basically it's a modification of something. I mentioned Elston Berry. Her photos were modified. Our episode was modified. And so when people see this and it's on Maker, so I mean people can, say, "Oh, well, it's not me, it's not me, it's not me." Well, it's right here. So this is a link and then it takes you to wherever it takes you. But this is what it looks like. This is a deep fake. You might say, well, Justin, all it says is lies, and uh, it's still a modification. That's not on the cover of this episode, number 193, titled "Is Realm Maker's Leadership Linked to Human Trafficking?" So we, myself and my team, we did not do this. You can see who did it. You can see who did it. So then we'll back up a little bit where we talk about embedding videos and such. And so managing video embedding options. So once the person has the video, they can turn privacy on. So now that version of the video or picture is privacy enhanced, making it play automatically. So instead of having to press the button or click or start at a certain time, adding captions to an embeddable video. So I would say that is pretty close. This is the this is the cover. Um, but that's what's really going on is the modification of this particular cover of this First Amendment protected video. Uh, so you might say, well, that's not like the caption, like that's a caption. That I don't know what else, how else to explain it. It's plain as day. Realm makers put lies and they're showing their following this. So this video is not theirs. They did not make the video. I made the video and we share facts. And I think that that's part of what's at play here is some people don't want to admit what they said and what they do. That's not on me. That's not on my heart. You can see right here. So for all the people that are watching, all the people that are listening, this right here shows exactly who this organization is here. So again, is Rome Maker's leadership linked to human trafficking? Episode 193 has been the cover has been altered on the Realm Makers website. So, one thing we can do, so that's a public service announcement because if Realm Makers is able to do that on my show, on our covers of our episodes, they could do it to somebody else. They could do it to anybody. I mean, somebody actually had to, I mean, let's take a look at it, right? So th this is like it's not even typed in, so like somebody had to actually you can see here where there's lines like it was like especially with this E where they use like a pen function. So it's where like where you're trying to make sure you're covering it in and it's that like um so it took, I don't know, maybe 30 seconds, 20 seconds. I don't know how long it took to make it. But this is a public service announcement, not just because this has everything to do with Voices for Voices, and and you can see that there's nothing that says Voices for Voices. So right here, it's falsifying where this actually came from. And I haven't clicked on it because I have a pretty good idea that if it plays, that the content may be modified. I'd say, well, why do you say that, Justin? I say right here, right on the screen. This is why. And you take a person that is just, clicking through and then they see this and they're like, oh my gosh, what's this all about? And then if they click the link, there's no telling if the link will, because see, I'm not going on their webs. I'm not. making it a point to go on their websites. This was passed on to me. Uh, I don't I don't spend any time on the Railmaker site. I mean, this is the most that you'll see. Uh, but we sure get a whole lot of people on our website, on our platforms, downloading, viewing. I mean, I guess if there's a silver lining in anything, I guess uh, thank you for all the downloads and all the views for for making those analytics possible. So that's, I guess, the silver lining here. But uh, that's what I'm talking about when you're putting your content together and you're putting it out into the world. Like we've some of us have gotten not, a little nonchalant about it. Like, oh, I'm gonna get this out. I want to get this out. I want sales. I want views. I want downloads. And so we kind of go through these questions kind of quick because we're just like, I just need to get this out. I want to drop it right now or in a half hour or a certain time. And we don't think of the ramifications until we see something like this with the definition of the deep fake. And oh, by the way, um, mm, hmm, we shall see. I just had I just had a moment, a little moment of clarity. So there's a law about this. There's a law about this deep fake that Elliston and her mom, Miss Anna, took the Senator Ted Cruz, state of Texas, where they live. Senator Ted Cruz called it the Take It Down Act because big tech wasn't taking it down, these photos. Um, and the person that did it was not being prosecuted. So they took it to DC, Washington, DC. It went kind of the opposite. It went from the Senate and passed, and then it passed in the House of Representatives. I guess in my mind, I'm thinking uh, House of Representatives first, and then the Senate. But I guess the legislation can come from any any side. And so the legislation was passed in the Senate, House of Representatives, and, and we're not here to talk about politics, about the president, but the president and Melania, First Lady Melania Trump, signed it into law. So the Take It Down Act is a federal law, and first people are starting to be uh, prosecuted, I guess is the word to say. And so that we might just have that. That just might be that just might be something I'll have to look at. Because while it looks innocent, like, well, it didn't change the complexion or the cover itself. Well, actually it did because you put lies over it. So that's taking work from another and modifying it for an audience. So what do you think about this? I want to hear some comments. I want to see some comments. I want people to get fired up. I'm fired up. We're here for the First Amendment. We're here for all the amendments. We're here for the Constitution. As a United States citizen, I'll say it like I've said it a million times. If you don't like our show, you don't like our content, turn the channel. You will not offend me. I don't care if our numbers go down because it may look like they go down, but there's people that are watching and listening that, um, for security reasons and other methods of viewing and listening, we don't get their analytics. And that's fine with me. So yeah, I want people to get fired up about this. You okay with this? You okay having your stuff modified? No matter, oh, that's so small and that's so this and that's so no, it's part of the law. And uh folks, it can't be doing that. This is the whole world. You just can't do that, especially here in the United States. You can't do that. So thank you for joining us. Little education, a lot of truth, and at least one deep fake image. So if you can do this for us, give us the big thumbs up, like, follow, subscribe, share, reshare, repost. But you're not going to be able to embed and remix going forward. So it's just an executive decision we had to make. So until next time, let's celebrate the voices of everybody in the world and let's be a voice for not only ourselves, but maybe somebody else in need. Thank you very much. We love you. We support you, and we'll be with you on the next episode of the Voices for Voices podcast. Bye bye for now.